Our objective in this lesson is to completely factor trinomials where a is equal to 1. But before that, here are the answers in extra problems I gave in our previous lesson. Kindly write your scores in the comment section below. Once again, let us take a look at our concept map in factoring polynomials. You know by the heart that the first thing that you have to do is to look if there is a greatest common factor. In this example, this one here is the GCF, while this one is the remaining factor. Then we have to identify if the remaining factor is binomial, trinomial, or a fourth-term polynomial. In our previous lessons, we have already discussed how to factor binomial, whether it is difference of two squares or sum and difference of two cubes. And in our latest lesson, we also learned how to factor trinomial if it is a perfect square trinomial, PST. Today's lesson will focus if the remaining factor is a trinomial but not PST. Let's have a quick review first of your lesson back in grade 7, multiplying polynomials. There are several ways of doing this, but today I'm going to review the window method. So let us create our boxes. This shaded portion here is our window. Now let us write x here, and then minus 3 here, another x here on top, and then positive 4. And then we are going to multiply this 2, and it will give us x squared. This 2, and it will give us negative 3x. This 2, and it will give us 4x. And this 2, that will give us negative 12. So now our window is complete. It's time to combine like terms. And our like terms are these two here. They both contain a variable. We have 4x plus negative 3x. Plus minus will be minus. 4x minus 3x is simply x. Now let us write our answer in descending order. We'll start with x squared and then this x here and minus 12. This is a trinomial. And in our lesson today, we will begin with the trinomial as our problem and finish with the factors as our answer. Let us define first what quadratic trinomial is. It is a second-degree polynomial with three terms. This is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Three terms, 1, 2, 3. That's why it is trinomial. And why is it quadratic? Because the highest exponent of the variable is 2, where a, b, and c are non-zero integral coefficients. There are two types of quadratic trinomial. The first one is the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is equal to 1. Meaning you will not see any constant here because it is just 1. And in math, we don't write it anymore if the numerical coefficient is 1. And another one is a quadratic trinomial where a here is greater than 1. So there are constants written in front of the variable raised to the second power. Today, we will focus our discussion with quadratic trinomials where a is equal to 1. And here are some examples. Notice that there is no numerical coefficient in front of the variable raised to the second power. It means that the constant here is simply 1. How do we factor quadratic trinomial where a is equal to 1? I'm going to teach you two techniques. First, I'll start with MA technique. Let me write my M and A here. Notice the colors. It has relationship. So I'll create first my table. M stands for multiply, while A stands for add. Under M, I'm going to choose this number. They are of the same color, so I'll put negative 3 here. And under A, add, same color with negative 2, so I'll put negative 2 here. For multiply, all I have to do is to determine the factors of negative 3. So I'm going to think of numbers that when multiplied will give me negative 3 as an answer. So it could be positive 1 and negative 3 or negative 1 and positive 3. After that, I'm going to add them. So 1 plus negative 3 will give me negative 2. Negative 1 plus 3 will give me positive 2. And then I simply have to choose the sum that is equal to the numerical coefficient of my middle term. So this is negative 2, so I'm going to choose this one. It means that the factors I'm going to use are 1 and negative 3. We have now our factors. Let us write them accordingly. First, let us create two sets of parentheses. And then let us determine the square root of x squared, and that is x. I'm going to put one x here and another one here. For the remaining terms, I'll get it from my factors. This is positive 1, so plus 1. This is negative 3, so minus 3. This means the factored form of x squared minus 2x minus 3 is quantity x plus 1 times quantity x minus 3. Let's have another example. Is still using the MA technique. Y squared plus 6y plus 8. Let me put my M and A. I'll create my table. Under multiply, I'm going to write positive 8. Under add, I'm going to write positive 6. So again, I'm going to look for factors or numbers that when multiplied will give me positive 8. So I could start with positive 1 times positive 8, negative 1 times negative 8, positive 2 times positive 4, negative 2 times negative 4. Then I'll add them. 1 plus 8 is 9. Negative 1 plus negative 8 is negative 9. 2 plus 4 is 6. Negative 2 plus negative 4 is negative 6. And then I'm going to choose the sum that is equal to the constant coefficient of my middle term. Since this is 6, I'm going to choose this one. It means my factors are 2 and 4. We have now our factors. Let us write them accordingly. First, the two sets of parentheses. The square root of y squared is y, so I'm going to put y here and another y here. For the remaining terms, I'm going to get it from my factors. This is positive 2, so plus 2. This is positive 4, so plus 4. So the factors of y squared plus 6y plus 8 is equal to quantity y plus 2 times quantity y plus 4. Let's have another example. 2x squared minus 14x plus 12. Remember, the first thing that you have to ask yourself, is there a GCF? And 2, 14, and 12 are all divisible by 2. It means we can factor out 2. This one here is our GCF. 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared. Negative 14x divided by 2 is negative 7x. Positive 12 divided by 2 is positive 6. This is my GCF, and this is the remaining factor, which is a trinomial, where a is equal to 1. Next is to determine the factors of this trinomial. Let me put my M and A here, and then here is my table. In multiply, I'm going to write positive 6, and in add, I'm going to write negative 7. I'm going to teach you another technique. Since our third term is positive, the factors that you should think of should have the same signs. For instance, negative times negative will give you positive. Or positive times positive will give you positive also. So they have to be of the same signs. But wait, since the middle term is negative, then we should look for factors that are both negative. So for positive 6, factors that are both negative are negative 1 times negative 6 and negative 2 times negative 3. Negative 1 times negative 6 is positive 6. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Same signs. And the signs should be the same of the middle term. Let us add this to negative 1 plus negative 6 is negative 7. Negative 2 plus negative 3 is negative 5. So obviously, I'm going to choose this one. This is equal to my middle term. So it means the numbers in my factors are negative 1 and negative 6. Let us write them accordingly. Remember that we have a GCF, so don't forget to write it. The square root of x squared is x, so we have x here and another 1 here. For the remaining terms, I'll get it from my factors. This is negative 1, so we have minus 1. Negative 6, so this is minus 6. This is now the complete factored form of 2x squared minus 14x plus 12. Try this. X squared minus 2x minus 63. Again with MA technique. I'll create my table. Under M, I'm going to write negative 63. And under A, I'm going to write negative 2. This time, our third term is negative. So to have a negative product, you have to multiply two numbers that are of different signs. Because positive times negative will give you negative, and negative times positive will also give you negative. So we are going to look for factors that of different signs that will give us negative 63 as the product. I'll start with positive 1, negative 63. Or it could be the other way around, negative 1 times positive 63. I could also have positive 3 times negative 21 or negative 3 times positive 21. Another factors, negative 7 and positive 9 or positive 7 and negative 9. So my factors are of different signs because this will give me a product of a negative number. We don't have to write the positive sign if the number is positive. I just did that so that you can clearly see that they are of different signs. Now let us add them. 1 plus negative 63 is negative 62. Negative 1 plus 63 is positive 62. 3 plus negative 21 is negative 18. Negative 3 plus 21 is positive 18. Negative 7 plus 9 is positive 2. Positive 7 plus negative 9 is negative 2. Of course, I'm going to choose this one, the same as my middle term. So the factors that I'm going to use are positive 7 and negative 9. Let us write them. Two sets of parentheses. The square root of x squared is x, so we have x here and another 1 here. This is positive 7, so plus 7. This is negative 9, so minus 9. Here are the factors of x squared minus 2x minus 63. This time, I'm going to teach you another technique, magic x technique. Let's start with this example, x squared minus 4x minus 5. So what I'm going to do is to determine the factors of my third term, disregarding its sign. So the factors of 5, we only have 1 and 5. If I'm done listing all the factors, then I'm going to create my magic x. On top, I'm going to write the third term, including the sign. And at the bottom, I'm going to write the numerical coefficient of the middle term, including the sign. On the left and on the right, I'm going to write my factors. Now, since my top number is negative, I need to have one positive and one negative factors so that the product will give me a negative number. Next, since my bottom number is negative 4, then the bigger number should be the one that is negative. Let us have a quick check. 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. 1 plus negative 5 is negative 4. So it means here are my factors. I'm going to write it. The square root of x squared is x and x. This is positive 1, so plus 1. This is negative 5, so minus 5. Here are the factors of x squared minus 4x minus 5. Let's have another one. This time, let's have 2y squared minus 28y plus 48. This is not a trinomial where a is equal to 1, but 2, 28, and 48 are all divisible by 2. So I'll just factor out 2, and here is my remaining factor. Quick check. 2 times y squared is 2y squared. 2 times negative 14y is negative 28y. 2 times positive 24 is positive 48. This is now the trinomial where a is equal to 1. So I'm going to determine the factors of my third term, factors of 24. I always start with 1. So 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. So when multiplied, this will give me 24 as a product. If there are no other factors, then I'll create my magic x. On top again is my third term, including the sign. At the bottom is the numerical coefficient of my middle term, including the sign. And on the left and right, I'm going to choose one set of factors from this list. Ask yourself, among these sets of factors, which one would possibly give you a sum of 14? Would it be 1 and 24, 3 and 8, 4 and 6, 2 and 12? The possible numbers that will give you a sum of 14 is 2 and 12. For the signs of the factors, since my top number is positive, then I could have both negative or both positive. But since the bottom number is negative, so it means my factors are both negative. Let us write the factors. Do not forget we have a GCF here. The square root of y squared is y, so we have y here and another y here. For the remaining terms, negative 2, so we have minus 2. Negative 12, so we have minus 12. This is the complete factored form of 2y squared minus 28y plus 48. Let's have some more. This time, let's have h squared plus 15h plus 56. So I'm going to determine first factors of 56. I'll start with 1 and 56, 2 and 28, 4 and 14, 7 times 8. No other factors, I'll create my magic x. On top, I'm going to write the numerical coefficient of my third term. This is positive 56. And at the bottom is the numerical coefficient of my middle term. This is positive 15. For the factors, I'm going to choose one pair from this list. Which pair will possibly give me a sum of 15? That would be 7 and 8, because 7 plus 8 is 15. Now, for the sign of my factors, since the top number is 56, I could have both positive or both negative. When multiplied, it will give me positive 56. Same signs when multiplied will give me positive 56. But since my bottom number is positive, then it means both of my factors are positive. Let us write the factors now. The square root of h squared is h, so another h here. For the remaining terms, this is positive 7, so plus 7. This is positive 8, so plus 8. Here are the factors of h squared plus 15h plus 56. Last one. We have 3b cubed plus 6b squared minus 45b. 3, 6, and 45 are all divisible by 3. B cubed, b squared, and b, I can factor out 1b. So my GCF is 3b, and this is my remaining factor. Quick check. 3b times b squared is 3b cubed. 3b times 2b is 6b squared. 3b times negative 15 is negative 45b. So this is my trinomial where a is equal to 1. I'll determine the factors of 15. I'll start with 1. 1 times 15. And then I have 3 times 5. No other factors. I'll create my magic x. On top is the numerical coefficient of the third term, which is negative 15. At the bottom is the numerical coefficient of the middle term, which is positive 2. For the factors, I'm going to choose one pair from this list. Which among these two will possibly give me a sum of 2? That is 3 and 5. Since my top number is negative, then the factors should be of different signs. One negative, one positive, to give you a product of negative. Now, take a look at the bottom number. It is positive. So, the bigger number should be positive. It means 3 is the negative number. Quick check. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Negative 3 plus 5 is positive 2. So our factors are correct. Let us write them. Don't forget we have a GCF of 3b. The square root of b squared is b and another b here. For the remaining terms, this is negative 3, so minus 3. This is positive 5, so plus 5. Here is the complete factored form of 3b cubed plus 6b squared minus 45b. Let us do extra challenge. Factor x squared plus 3x plus 18. You may choose whether MA technique or the magic x technique. I'll choose the magic x. So I'll determine the factors of 18. I'll start with 1. So 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. No other factors. I'm going to create my magic x. Writing on top is the numerical coefficient of the third term, and writing at the bottom is the numerical coefficient of the middle term. For the factors, I'm going to choose one pair that would possibly give me a sum of 3. And that is 3 and 6. Now, let us determine the signs. To give me a positive product, my factors should be of the same sign. Since my bottom number is positive, then they should be both positive. But if I'm going to add this two, 3 plus 6, that is 9 and not 3. So to give me positive 3, 3 should be negative. Negative 3 plus 6 is positive 3. But if I multiply them, negative 3 times positive 6 is negative 18, not positive 18. Therefore, there are no correct factors. It means that our trinomial is already in simplest form. It is a prime trinomial. So what is prime trinomial? Just like other trinomials, it has 3 terms and the highest exponent of the variable is 2. But this kind of trinomial is not factorable, meaning we cannot get a sum of b from the factors of our c. When you encounter this kind of trinomial, simply write not factorable or prime trinomial. Let's have a quick activity. Let's determine if the following trinomials is prime or factorable. Let's start with this one. Can you think of factors of 4 that when you add will give you negative 6? There is none. So it means this trinomial is prime. Next one. Can you think of factors of 39 that when you add will give you negative 10? Yes, it could be negative 13 and positive 3. That will give me negative 10. So this is factorable. How about this one? Can you think of factors of 7 that when you add will give you positive 6? The factors of 7 are only 1 and 7. And when you add them, that is 7, not 6. Meaning this is prime. Next one. Factors of 26 that when you add will give you negative 15. We could have Negative 13 and negative 2. Negative 13 times negative 2 is positive 26. Negative 13 plus negative 2 is negative 15. So it means this is factorable. Last one, we have 23. Factors of 23 that when you add will give you positive 22. If this is negative, so 1 positive, 1 negative. We could have positive 23 and negative 1. So 23 minus 1 is 22. Positive 23 times negative 1 is negative 23. So this means this is also factorable. For the summary, here are the things that we learned in this lesson. When factoring quadratic trinomial where a is equal to 1, you look for factors that when multiplied will give you C as an answer. And those factors when added will give you B as an answer. Some more techniques. When C is positive, the factors will have the same sign as the middle term. When C is negative, the factors should have different signs. Another one, when C is negative, the larger of the factors is also negative. And remember that not all trinomials are factorable. We have what we call prime trinomial. Now, it is time to check your understanding. Pause this video for more time. Let us answer factor 4x squared plus 28xy plus 40y squared. 4, 28, and 40 are all divisible by 4. So we could factor out 4. For the variables, since we do not have y here, we cannot factor out y. Since we do not have x here, we cannot also factor out x. So this is our GCF. 4x squared divided by 4 is x squared. Positive 28xy divided by 4 is positive 7xy. Positive 40y squared divided by 4 is positive 10y squared. This is our trinomial where a is equal to 1. So I'm going to use magic X technique. I'm going to determine the factors of the numerical coefficient of my third term. So factors of 10. Those are 1 and 10 and 2 and 5. Now, no other factors. I'm going to create my magic X. Writing at the top is the numerical coefficient of the third term, including the sign. And writing at the bottom is the numerical coefficient of the middle term, including the sign. For the factors, I'm going to choose one pair from here that would possibly give me 7 as a sum. And that is 2 and 5. Now, for the sign of the factors, since the top number is positive, then they should have the same signs. And what would it be? Is it both positive or both negative? Look at the sign of the bottom number. Since this is positive, then they should be both positive. Let us now write the factors. Don't forget our GCF. The square root of x squared is x and x. For the remaining terms, we'll get it from our factors. But remember that our third term has y squared. We also have to get the square root of this. And the square root of y squared is y. This is positive 2, so plus 2y. This is positive 5, so plus 5y. This is now the complete factored form of 4x squared plus 28xy plus 40y squared. Gets? Try to answer these extra problems to master this lesson. Watch out for my next video lesson where I reveal the correct answers. Our next lesson is factoring trinomials where a is greater than 1.